Welcome to Crooked River. Who can you trust? Crooked River 4. Because of time restraints, I'm going to try and make a long story short. They paroled me in the year 2000. I got out and tried to catch up on life. The life they had stolen from me. And I got me a job, got a little car, got me a place, and was trying to do, best I could, and also continue to try and, prove what they had done. Well, I rented a place with a guy by the name of Herb. And I've been paying rent, religiously, the way you're supposed to, until the real owners of the house showed up, the real estate company. When the real estate company showed up, they let everybody that was in the house, it was a boarding house, rooming house, and let us know that they were the owners and that they were about to take over and rehab the house, and that we had a month or so, whatever, and they said we could just live there until they, got their crew together and they were coming in. So I checked this. I went down, called the city hall, got in touch with people, and they told me, yeah, said Herb doesn't know this dude by the name of John Herb. So Herb and this 300-pound black thing, I don't even want to call him a man, but showed up one day, demanding rent. And I showed him the paperwork from the real estate company that really owned the house. All right. Herb sicked this 300-pound dog on me. And when the dog sprang, I dropped the bulldog in his face. He turned around, ran over Herb, and I picked Herb up. Yeah, I remember his words. Man, I didn't think it was going to go like this. Yeah, well, that's the way it went. Next thing I knew, Herb went to the police, whatever, and put in a complaint. Charged me with aggravated robbery, whatever. To make a long story short, I ended up, after, I was arrested. They came to the house. They actually took me down off the roof. Okay. All right. What? I was going through, waiting to go to trial, all this, and I'm telling them, hey, this is all a scam, whatever. But in come the parole people. The parole people now. Understand, I've never been convicted of a damn thing. But now, I got parole people, and they decide, well, they're going to add their little embellishment. So here comes the parole officer, and here he's going to state that he arrested me, which he never did. He pulled a knife out of my pocket, which of course was BS, and trying to get me some. After I fired 7 of those court-appointed lawyers, all right, I walked off into the courtroom for trial with a lawyer that I had saved the money up and bought, a guy by the name of Paul Mancino Jr. that was supposed to have been the best in Cleveland. All right. We walked in, the judge threw him out of the courtroom, wouldn't let him defend. All right. These individuals, never could, even press the aggravated robbery charge on me, period. That finally got dismissed after the 7 lawyers, that was trying to convince me, you ought to plead guilty to that. And he said, no, oh yeah, well, we're going to break it down to this. We're going to break it down. Yeah, okay, we'll break it on off, and you understand, you know what you can do with it. So when we went to trial, whatever, I ended up having to defend myself, because this thing they gave me, this fat slob of a lawyer, whatever he was supposed to be, was setting up in the courtroom sleep. He actually got busted. It was on, it was all in the news about sleeping through trials. But this point, these aren't trials anymore. It's these are just persecutions. Okay. Now, they ended up putting me back in jail, in pen, for, of all things, parole violation. Yeah. The parole from a case that they never had to begin with. Okay, so where'd that come from? But this is what happened. So I ended up back again in the penitentiary on another charge from the phony charge, another phony charge on top of the phony charge. These people act like if they put enough garbage on you, sooner or later you start to smell. You know what I mean? But the smell is coming from them, from the court. I had this judge that they considered as a good judge. His name was Stuart Friedman. He had a system, and it's just the truth. If you were black, he gave you a certain amount of time. If you were white, he gave you half that time. That was it. If you were black and you went and walked off in there with a lawyer that he didn't like, obviously, he threw my lawyer out of court. So remember this: the next time you see someone in court defending themselves, they're doing that because they're the only one who's in their corner, and they're the only one that they can depend on. It's not because they all of a sudden decided to become F. Lee Bailey. Some of you younger ones may not know who he was, but it's because they're their only line of being able to get something like the truth out there. And either way, when it finally went down, this jury, if you could call them that, second illegal trial here, okay, found me guilty and sentenced me to the penitentiary. Not only that, but because I was, as they say, had a prior conviction, the other phony trial, the first phony trial, they want to enhance the sentence. So, this threw me back in the penitentiary. I was in the penitentiary from 2000 to 2000, and I think it was 2000 to 2003, whatever. So here I am on a phony trial in the joint, off of a phony trial that I just got out of the joint from. Again, So that's why they have a thing called fruits of the poisonous tree. It's rotten from the beginning. It's rotten all the way through. And all these little judges, all these little lawyers, you need to read their oath that they take when they pass the bar examination. Believe me, nothing in it says that they are going to be loyal to you. Everything in it says that they're going to be loyal to each other. You know, so you are basically, uh, you know, like they say, three friends and the stranger, or whatever. The judge, the lawyer, the prosecutor, they're all working together. You, the stranger. So just remember. So here I am, back in the joint on the phony charge. On enhancement of the phony charge, on a phony charge on top of that. All right. Now, let's go from there. So we're talking about 2003 now. Now, in 2003, excuse me, I'm going to end this now because of time constraints. Stay tuned to part 2 of this, which will be coming up next. This is Ben Anderson. Who can you trust? Stay tuned. Signing off. Let you know what happened next.